Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Glam Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a question that was asked by one of my awesome Patreon supporters. Thanks to you Patreon supporters, I can continue to make these videos on farms such as this place, Creekside Dairy, right? So here I'm getting some organic milk. So yeah, I do drink some organic milk or do have organic dairy in my diet from time to time, as much as that's demonized by a lot of people out there. But I find I get a lot out of it, actually. You know, some good energy, and I do like to make my own mochas at home, like coffee and chocolate with some turmeric in there and stuff, which I've showed you guys before. So one day I'll share the secret recipe, although it's really nothing that complicated. It's just hot cocoa with organic milk, organic cocoa, and organic turmeric. So it's great on winter days, such as like this one right now, because I'm standing in the snow. So yeah, excuse the noise in the background. There is a pressure washer. Like most farms, there's always something going on, so that's kind of par for the course. Doesn't this remind you of the road that the Incredible Hulk would have walked down? Like the old Bruce Banner when he transformed from the Hulk and then, you know, made his sad, lonely, shirtless pilgrimage to the next town. It's kind of creepy. It reminds me of that. Well, there's one thing I can do for sure, and that's creepy. There are no trolls back there, so not much point in me going too far. Yeah, I already killed them all. So recently I just had a guy ask me a question about accessing his chest pump. He's having a hard time feeling his chest during bench press movements, and he's saying he's tried everything and he cannot get that activation, and he's really frustrated. So one thing I want to say right away is that sometimes things take time. It's not always about immediate gratification or immediate experience with the muscle contracting properly. I have trained certain body parts, and sometimes it just took time to establish the mind-muscle coordination, meaning the actual wires almost had to get connected in order for the muscle to activate properly. So only through building muscle in a certain area, ironically, sometimes only through building a certain amount of muscle will you start to get that mind-muscle connection, not necessarily always the other way around, you know, mind-muscle connection leading to muscle gain. So because of this, I want you to not get too frustrated, but at the same time still play with the angles, still do some dips, still do decline. If flat is not necessarily activating the chest, start doing a subtle decline. And I've showed you guys how to do declines on a normal bench press just by raising up your hips and using lighter weight, of course, just to make sure that you have the form down. Or, you know, go into more incline type training for a period of time, or concentrate on changing the direction of the force. So say you're laying on the bench, the force is going straight up and down, right? But we know the chest brings the arms across the midsection, across towards the midsection. So work with cables where the force goes directly outwards, or elastic bands, and see then if you start to get more chest activation, right? You can hook up 2 elastic bands onto 2 poles and just start squeezing and doing contractions like this. And this is where all the force is going to be taking place, right? Maybe there's no force out here, but here, and you can start to get that mind-muscle connection with the chest. So sometimes it's not just about an exercise. Sometimes it's also about the direction of the force itself. And that is what is missed by a lot of people. A lot of people just miss that altogether. And that could be one of the most important things, is what direction is the force traveling in? And if you have forces going straight back and you're resisting those, maybe it's better to have forces going straight outwards and resist those ones, and that will hit your muscle or your chest more effectively. I'm positive you guys are probably getting annoyed with that pressure washer in the background, but he's been pressure washing the whole time, and I don't think he's going to stop. And you know what? In order for me to bring these videos to you, I have to be on the street, constantly filming. You know, I don't have time to find locations that are convenient with good audio. Give me a break. I don't have time for that. So as a general rule, stick to the basics as far as try to increase in strength and strength endurance in the basic exercises, such as bench presses, such as dumbbell presses, and so forth. But then don't be afraid to do specialty exercises, such as maybe a fly with elastic bands or cables, in order to access some sort of mind-muscle connection and get that pumpy and lumpy feeling. It's not rocket science, but sometimes you have to just embrace your genetics and how you're built, and sometimes it does take time to develop that mind-muscle connection and develop enough muscle mass that's worth firing, right? You're not going to be posing your rib cage, you know what I'm saying? You have to pose the chest, and some guys don't have a big enough chest to even pose, so there you go, right? Sometimes that's what happens. Mountain. So anyway, I hope this helps out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the patron supporters, and take care for now. Think fast. Hey, you didn't even catch the snowball. No coordination, see? No coordination. Natural Gallant.